Introduce yourself, tell us about your work and what you do.
All right. So my name is Kayra Jay. I am a writer, producer. I currently work at MTV and VH1 in development, but I also have a web series called Adultin that I created with my co-creators, Paulette Marte, Emily Daniels. And Adultin is a 5-part scripted and unscripted show that highlights the niche aspects of adulting in an anthology. So each episode is different. And season 1 is out on YouTube. It's been a year and we are currently in pre-production for season 2.
Nice. I'm so proud of all of that. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I still have not watched since I met you.
It's all good.
I have a list of just like web series that's on my to-do list, but since you mentioned it's an anthology, I'm very interested, and seems we have more time in the house, so I definitely have time to look into it. And
yes, each episode's different, so watch them in whatever order.
Nice. That's great. So are y'all currently you're writing season 2? Are you crowdfunding or anything like that?
So right now we have a writer's room going on, which is the first time that we're having a writer's room, because last time it was just me and my co-creators who wrote all the scripts. So now we actually have a bigger team. We have people helping us with social media, all sorts of like new hands and new voices behind the scenes. That's one of the big things that we like have always advocated for, having more Black people getting involved in film and giving people spaces that they wouldn't typically get. That's how we all came together. We were looking for jobs and looking for opportunities that we just couldn't get like fresh out of college. And because of Adulting is how I have the job I have now, because people saw what I was doing and pitched my name to my now current boss. So it's just been really helpful as far as like getting a leg up and being really proud of having a body of work. Like, it's like now I can say I'm a producer, you know, like, because I did this thing. Like, I did that. Like, I wrote this, I directed that. So it's just been really like, I don't even know, fulfilling to have a project like this.
Nice. I feel fulfilled just hearing you talk about it. I'm like, oh my God, yes, we got a job. Like,
you should be fulfilled. You are doing it. Like, you're killing it. I'm loving this series. Like, from the jump, I was like, oh my God, this is so well curated, to the event, to now IG Live. Like, yes, I love to see it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And speaking of the series, I didn't even introduce, we just jumped into the convo. So to everybody viewing right now, this is Black and Alive, which is an IG Live interview series going on for 2 weeks and maybe another week after that. Everyone I'm interviewing has taken part in 20 Shades. Oh my God, I don't even know my project. Has taken part in 28 Shades of Black Magic, which is an annual photo series celebrating a different young Black entrepreneur and artist and creative for each day of Black History Month. And this year we had 29, so that was really great. Kayra was one of them. Vibes. Yeah, right? And it snuck up on me, but we got 29.
I literally forgot this year was a leap year. That's how crazy the year has been.
Yeah, it's not even remarkable. There's so many other things going on. Like that extra day
right.
February, it didn't even trip me up.
At all. Like, whatever. Like, we were talking about 2020. Oh, it was a leap year, right, girl?
It was? Because I just remember, you know, the global uprisings, the plague, maybe. There were also like killer hornets at one point.
The murder hornets? Like, we got white people wearing kente on CNN. Like, what part? The president hosting a rally on Juneteenth? I don't know what part of 2020 you want me to talk about, because the leap year was like number 100 on the list. And that's in February.
Right. Oh, my goodness. So speaking of, if you would like to, one of my questions is for you to discuss how the state of the world, COVID-19, but also the Black Lives Matter movement is affecting you as an artist and affecting your work.
I will say that this moment, like, I'll start with COVID. Like, we can take back to COVID. When COVID happened, I was like in a really bad space. Not like a really bad space, but I was like about to be in a really bad space. Like, I felt myself feeling tired, feeling burnt out. The top of the year was really like busy for me. Like, in January, I gave a TED Talk at Lincoln University. And so that had happened, and I had to like go down to Pennsylvania, you've ever been to Lincoln University, it's kind of hard to get to. So like road tripping down there, and then Adulton had gotten into the Denton Black Film Festival, so my team and I flew to Denton, Texas, to do this film festival, and it was our first one. So it's like, oh my gosh, we're so happy, and that was like great. Then my grandfather unfortunately passed away, so I had to fly to the Virgin Islands. I'm from the Virgin Islands, from St. Croix. So I had to fly to St. Croix, and I had just been there in December. So it was like, now I'm like coming right back in February. And then, you know, I think that large family gatherings always bring family drama. And this one sure did. So I left the island with just like a whole lot of like baggage and like emotional trauma that had like happened. And then like on top of that, work don't stop. Like a lot of things were happening at the same time, and like trying to like maintain and like be on top of everything, on top of like social, on top of whatever. And then COVID-19 happened, and they were like, you don't have to go to work no more. You don't have to spend money on the train no more. Like, and I was just like, hold on, wait, I know this is fucked up, but I want to be home. Like, this is like, this is great. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I needed a second. Like, I needed to catch my breath. I needed to breathe. Yeah. I needed a moment. Like, I needed like some time to really like just figure out what the fuck was going on. Like, I was just like, what is happening? And but then it was still like, this is a pandemic. Like, this is something I've seen in movies. I've never seen this in real life. Like, I'm trying to think back, like, what survival skills do I have? You know, like, I started going into panic mode. I was getting like 3 weeks worth of groceries. I wasn't fighting for toilet paper though. That was not, you know, that wasn't me. I was definitely like politely grabbing, but you know, here in Bed-Stuy, like, it really wasn't a problem. The shelves were never empty at my grocery store. I didn't really try to go to like big name ones like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods. I just went to American Basket, and they always had what we needed. So thank God. And yeah, like, life kind of just went on as usual. Like, work just transitioned online, and it did take like a second to like, you know, do stuff, like get really into it. But at the beginning, everybody was like, oh, what are you going to create in quarantine? Like, what's Adulting going to do? And I was like, Adulting's going to sleep.
Like,
we're not doing anything. Right. Resting, breathing, meditating, understanding that there is a pandemic, like, just things I've never had to process before. It was like, I'm processing, you know, I need to figure this out. But I definitely saw it as a time to rest. I was like, y'all are complaining. And obviously, like, people have way different situations like me. I'm absolutely grateful that I was able to work from home and, you know, provided, you know, certain luxuries as far as like being able to stay inside. Like, I didn't have to go outside for much other than groceries. So it was just like, all right, well, that's what I'm doing, groceries and my laundry. And I was like, I'm a social distance. I don't want to network. I don't want to talk to you. Like, I cancel everything. I was like, clear the calendar. I was so happy. Okay. I was like, but then everything just started being like real life in quarantine at around like April, May. Yeah. And when that happened, I was like, oh my God, now I have to get it together. Yeah. So that, for me, I've been coping with that. I moved like my desk space out into the living room and just separated like bedroom and workspace so that work isn't constantly surrounding me. Yeah. I started doing art that was for art's sake. So I bought a yarn and needle, started crocheting. I've been painting more, journaling more. I bought a yoga mat and have been doing yoga. I bought a bike. And I've been biking somewhat. So it's like, I'm trying to make these like changes to figure out, like, I guess what I was trying to do then was figure out like, who am I without the hustle? Like, who am I without producing and production? Like, while I love content creating, I love film and TV, and I love ideas, I love making them, developing them, all that shit. If that's not Kayra, you know, like, that's not who I am at my core. And it was like, I needed to define who that girl was, because she got lost in the sauce. Like, she was I was giving so much of myself to so many different like avenues that having the time to just be like, whoa, what do I actually like? Like, what do I find funny? A lot of the things I was watching was for work's sake, like, oh, watch Love is Blind because I work in the script, and like yeah, it was like everybody's watching Black as Fuck. Let me watch Black as Fuck. Everybody's watching Tiger King. Let me watch Tiger King and like see what was going on and keep up with this culture. And I was like, what the fuck? What do I want to do? Like, what web series
Right.
do I want to catch up on? Like, what content do I want to see? Podcasts that I've been meaning to listen to. All of that was like what I started to define around like April, May.
Yeah.
Then you get to May and police are killing Black people. And I'm like, I just caught my breath. I just figured it out. I was just getting used to something. And now I'm confronted with this whole other like element of me that I was real life, like not sleep about. I've always been an advocate for Black people and like giving Black people space. I've always put my Blackness up front. Like I had my TED Talk in front of these people. I was like, I am a Black girl from the Caribbean. You know, it's not a secret. So it was just very strange to be like, whoa, I'm a Black girl, but what am I really doing? Like, what can I be doing more of? Where have I been quiet? Where have I been like small? Where have I like not spoken up when I should have spoken up? Where have I like not taken up space? Like, and how can I do that shit now? Because this shit is too fucking much. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is a word, but that's how I'm at right now.
Everyone's experience since March, pretty much. Like, and I totally agree with you because I'm in grad school right now, and this semester was kicking my ass. Like, after a while, I was a little thankful because there are also so many little parts of your day that are stressful on their own. So I was glad to not ever run for the bus again because I was late to class or run
literally. I'm so happy I don't have to go get coffee for nobody. Like, I'm just like, oh, I can get coffee for my damn self. Like, I don't have to go out. There's just so many little things that were associated with, like, normal that I was just like, I am so glad I don't have to do that.
Exactly. I was really happy to roll out of bed, turn my laptop on, and go to class. And then also aware of the privileges I have in that. Because at one point when I was an undergrad, I didn't have my own laptop. So I'm really glad I got one now. Got all my editing software. I've been able to edit projects outside of school, along with doing my schoolwork all from home. So very thankful for that. Very thankful for having Wi-Fi. Because I've been on this phone and on like in my TV, and I do yoga as well. And I've been able to do yoga every day. So yeah, so I've been able to find some positive things in the madness, but I almost busted out laughing when you say, and then May comes around and the police were killing Black people. It's like a movie, but yeah, no, this most recent blow up, it's like it's what we needed, what this nation needed, and I think it's primarily because we're bored in a house and in the house bored. Like a lot of us would be in class or at work slaving, giving up 40 hours of our week instead of more streets. Like I remember when I was working in retail, like one of the protests came from like Union Square Park and came down 14th Street and past my job, and I was just looking out the window like, I wish I could be out there. And now I can be out there. So exactly. It's a crazy time. It's weird how everything, I mean, the police were going to kill Black people anyway. Correct. But now this is one of those times very similar to like 2016 or 2014 where there were a lot of big stories in a small period of time that like it's just an uproar. But I'm also very thankful. I feel like we just got to burn this house down. You know, literally protests, I keep saying, are little fires everywhere. Yes. So we got to burn this house down.
Honestly, like there's really nothing else to do. Like and it's wherever that I think that you have any sort of power. I've been reevaluating like systems that I am a part of, that I have influence in. Like I think that sometimes people feel helpless because maybe they don't have 10,000 followers, so they don't have a platform, right? And it's like, that is so not true, because at some point in your life, you've been a part of a type of system, whether it was your high school, your college, your grad school, like your summer camp, whatever you're in, your sorority, your fraternity, you're a part of systems in various parts of your life that you can affect change in. So on my end, I've just been looking at my systems, even just like individual bonds, like my relationship with my sister. I'm like, what can I be doing more of to empower this young Black girl? Because she, you know, she's gonna grow up to be a big Black girl, and I need her to know that she has to do work. Like, you don't get to just slide through in the ways that I was sliding through in like January. You know, like I was just like, like, you know, just I'm
Life
Black.
is happening.
Life's just happening, and accepting things. Like, we were like talking about stuff like microaggressions and whatnot. These conversations were happening, but it was very like, oh, like someone touched my hair and I don't like that. And now it's like, no, white people, do not touch our fucking hair. Do not underpay us. Like, it's like the whole facade of like trying to be palatable to white people is gone, because like that normal life that we had isn't here because of COVID. It's like the respectability politics is different now. Everybody's going through some different shit. And on top of all that, like, y'all are killing Black people for real. And it is broadcasted on fucking TV. Yes. Everybody's home to watch it. Like, we all saw it on multiple occasions over multiple weeks. And it's like, this is so crazy. And back to having a platform, I was like, okay, how can I leverage my voice? Because I have something to say. Like, I don't like this. I don't like this situation. I don't like moving in fear. Not even moving in fear, but like moving smaller than I am, because I don't want to disrupt things. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to like make people feel uncomfortable with my Blackness, you know? And it's like, I was like, no. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like scream it at the top of my lungs to Donald Trump. He won't listen, right? But like, you can affect certain systems that will eventually affect larger systems, because these people will go on and be in larger systems of their own. So one of my systems is my high school. I started a drama club in high school because we didn't have one. And I graduated and I left, and I kind of never really looked back. Not like never looked back. I like saw what they were doing and I always encouraged them, but I never thought that I had the power to like do anything. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm in New York now. Like, I can't go give a monologue. But I was invited to a monologue night that they were having on Zoom, which would not have happened without COVID. Right. And the kids had like wrote their own monologues and performed them on this Zoom. I had recited a monologue from For Color Girls, because I love that movie. I'm so sorry about everybody who talks shit. I love that movie and that play and Sataki Shange. Like, I just do. So I recited a monologue from there. And then at the end of it, the advisor was going to assign them to write more monologues. And I was like, I think they should write scripts. Like, I think that they should move on to writing scripts, and they should have like a 5-page script at the end of the summer. Adulton has like 5-page scripts because it's a 5-minute episode. The scripted part is about 5-6 minutes. So like, I know what it means to write a full, concise story in a short amount of time. I will do whatever you need me to help. Like, I'll send you scripts. I'll send resources. Like, I'll sit on more Zoom calls. Like, now these kids will come out of this writers of scripts, you know, something that they never thought they could do, something that the advisor was like, I didn't even know I wasn't thinking like that at all. And so I'm like, all of that is contributing to changing a system. Like, it's changing it's, you know, and it could just be like the smallest thing, like talking to your parents, talking to your grandparents about things that they can do within their jobs and in their positions, or whatever you can do at school. My school, some racists have been exposed at my college, and my school and a lot of the alumni have been like speaking out and like using their voice. And I just had never thought like I should also say, I'm like, I don't go there. Like, I left. I got my degrees and I left. Like, what? And it's like, no, like, I went there. I'd like to be proud of my institution and proud of the efforts that they're making to, you know, make a change in the world. This is like a part of the world. Like, these small individual things make up our country. So it's like, I'm going to sit in on these Zoom calls that they're having about hate and bias. I'm going to submit my letters and feedback on how I think things are being handled, like using my voice. And I think that that is the best thing that all of us could be doing right now. And like having these conversations, period. Like, we need to get on the same page. What do we as a community want? Like, what will bring us, you know, like what will bring us to where we want to go? What's the goal here? And how can we all work across to get there?
Yep, exactly. That was so beautifully put. So next question. One of my questions is, what is your favorite like blackity black anthem? I'm Black and I'm Proud, All Right by Kendrick Lamar, Don't Touch My Hair, just something that uplifts you and represents Blackness.
That for me, my dear, would be Jamila Woods' whole Legacy album, just like as a body of work.
Yes. I love that album.
I love that album. When we like biked to Fort Greene on Sunday, I had my little speaker out and I played that album.
Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to bike with you.
Yes, we need to bike.
Speaker, so
yes,
it's an incredible album.
It was just great. Like, I think my number one song, like my real anthem, every time it comes on, I just get into my Angela Davis mood. I'm like, yes, it's Basquiat.
Like, yes.
That one is like
that's a really like, what's the word? It's the more like one of the tough ones.
Yeah,
like, really
it's like
rebellious.
Edgy.
It's like
they want to see me angry. They want to see me bare my teeth. Like, it just makes me feel like, oh, let me go suit up. Like, I got something to say. I have something to do. Go. Yeah, it's like it's time to go. Like, you know.
So, for those watching who don't know, Legacy by Jamila Woods is the album she released last year. And every track is named after an iconic, historic, important Black person. So there's Zora after Zora Neale Hurston. There's Sonia. There's Giovanni. There's Octavia. There's Baldwin, Basquiat, like you said. Muddy Waters, Betty Davis, Miles Davis. And each track is inspired by that person, whether it be like a direct quote from that person or just something that they represented. And it's every song on that album is a great song. I saw her live last year. She did the whole album.
Was it in Brooklyn? In Williamsburg?
Yeah.
We were at the same concert. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I didn't even run into you there.
I know.
Crazy. I was like right
there,
in the
right?
front.
I was in the back.
What did you say?
I was in the back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I personally like to get to concerts very early, and I like to be right up front because I'm small. I don't want to be like crushed by people.
Yeah.
I got there like pretty early.
I remember, like, it was so crazy. My friend Ashley, who is the senior producer at The Root, which is a Black news site for y'all who do not know about The Root, go to The Root for Black opinion, Black news. They are blackity black and beautiful, and I love them. So Ashley is a beautiful Black girl who is a senior producer at The Root, and she knew I loved Jamila Woods. And she was like, I have this extra ticket if you want to come with me. Like, I found out at like 5 o'clock that day. And I was like, oh yes. And at the time, I lived in the Heights. So I like had to go home from Times Square, went to the Heights, changed, and then went back to Brooklyn. And so I got there a little late. We got drinks. And by that time, it was like we kind of like squeezed our way to like the middle-ish. And I was floored. I didn't know about Mitty Scott at the time. That was my intro to her. So I was like, okay, I like this. And then when Jamila came on, I was like, this is everything. Like, this is everything.
Yeah, it was really good. A really great experience. It's so funny because I was recently like deleting stuff out of my phone today, and I found like this video I made of her when she first came out. Like I can't remember what song she did first. I'm gonna assume it was Zora, but like I have that video, and I was like, oh, this was a great
video. Love her. But yes, that's my album that grounds me. Like I've listened to it maybe 100 times since May 20th.
Yeah, no, it's really great. I definitely recommend people watching go listen to the whole album, but also listen to Baldwin, listen to Octavia, listen to Basquiat,
listen to Giovanni, listen to Zora, listen to Octavia, listen to it all.
The whole album, the entire album.
Yes.
So yeah, it's so funny because I mentioned her yesterday when I was interviewing Tay Soleil, who was a feature this year as well. And I just be bigging up Jamila Woods. I gotta like maybe tag her in something and be like, ma'am, I can't tell people to listen to your album. I just want you to know that I love you.
Right. I just want you to know I love you. Like, you speak my language. Like, I think that she's just perfect. And I've been listening to her for quite some time. I don't even remember. I got put onto her because my ex one time, like literally an ex from high school, just like random. We don't talk like that. Randomly tags me on Twitter, was like, I think you'll like this girl, and like sends me her SoundCloud. And the first song I heard was Lonely. I was like, yep. I don't know if this is
Yeah,
supposed
that's
to like be a jab, but like you trying to call me lonely? I don't know, but
right. Like,
I
what
love
do you
this
mean?
girl.
Yeah, no, it's really great. Oh man, I'm about to go listen to her after this, especially some of those songs from the first album. Like,
Yes,
so,
Bubbles, Black Girl Soldier, Lonely, girl,
oh my
Heaven,
God.
Heaven as a whole.
Yeah. Whew. But some of those songs I put on our playlist. So for those watching, click the link in our bio, 28 Shades of Black Magic. I have this whole playlist with like a bunch of like Black and proud anthems, but also like feel good songs. Um,
Yes, playlist.
yeah, is there a question? This is gonna be our first question. Um,
Okay.
okay. Oh, nice. So underscore Christine, the word underscore is spelled out with an actual underscore, says, what music inspires and motivates you to write, direct, create, etc.?
Whew, that is a great question. I think it depends on the day and my mood and the project. So overall, I like to listen to like music without words, like beats. So
Yeah.
just like lo-fi beats, just like super chill stuff. And I have this playlist on my phone from Skylar Marshall. She's a girl that my roommate put me onto, and she has like a bunch of like these cool playlists, like Working from Home or Honey, and I just always throw that on, and it's like these lo-fi beats and just like chill hip hoppy beats. Malik just wrote DJ K. I also have been trying to learn how to DJ. My
You,
landlord's a
oh
DJ.
my God. Yes, that's one of
Yeah.
my many dreams as well. So
Let's do
let
it.
me
I
know.
love Black girl DJs. Like literally, if I go
I'm
out before COVID, anytime I went out, like I would go straight to the DJ booth. Like
wow.
I just like grab, and I'm like, oh my God, like you're so amazing. I love this. And I'm just like super like stand behavior at the DJ. So then my landlord is a DJ. And I was like, oh, can you teach me how to DJ? And he was totally down with that. So before COVID, I would go up there and like learn how to DJ from him.
Mhm.
And that was super great. I've been learning like how to mix and like just like counting beats and all that stuff. But I make my own playlist, and my playlists usually have like electronic. Like I like Kayra, I like Masego, I like oh, so many people. I like Solange. I just like really chill, like Brent Fayez. I like
Same.
I love me some Brent. Who have I been listening? FKJ. Do you know FKJ, French Kiwi Juice?
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
But I know maybe one or
FKJ.
two of their songs, but yeah.
Yes, I love FKJ. And like that's the type of like vibe I'm usually in. Like just like I like to do everything at night. I'm a night. I don't. Is it a night owl? I don't know what you call people
Yeah,
who operate at
that's
night.
what they say.
But I'm like whatever. I'm not a like morning person, but I'm a night person. And I like just like candles. I need like smells, like incense or something going on. Need some weed, need a little bit, a little chill out. And then I just would have to like set the space, and then I'll play like some like hip lo-fi like beats, and then I'll just get started on whatever I'm doing.
Nice. Wow, you creating a vibe. So I definitely like need to link with you because we got to learn how to DJ together. We got to bike ride together, and obviously
Yes.
with Miller Woods together.
Where do
I
you live?
also, hmm?
Where do you live?
Oh, I'm in East New York.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why like it's not hard for me to get to like Bed-Stuy or even like Bushwick, but like Fort Greene.
Right.
Oof.
Right.
So
Well,
yes,
I'm in Bed-Stuy, so
nice.
right in the middle.
Yeah, slide in my DMs. You're probably not far from me at
I got
all.
you.
We need to be
Yes.
friends. Because also, like, I don't know if the question was for me, but I've also been listening to a lot of like Brett Fayez and FKA Twigs and Solange. And
Mm-hmm.
I like to like put YouTube on and just let it play, like whatever the recommended videos are. And like, it's like right behind me when I'm on my computer and working and stuff. So yeah, I definitely like to set the mood.
Yeah. That's what you need. Like just like a space to be a clear mind so I can start working. I have to be chill. I can't listen to like a lot of like loud stuff unless like I don't know. Like, I feel like that's when I'm like doing action, like less when I'm ideating and more when I'm like doing. That's when I'm listening to like rap, like Gunna, or like I'll just listen to something a little bit more heavier and I'm like, I'm working, like I'm doing work. And then when I'm like creating or like trying to come up with ideas, it's more like a chill energy.
Definitely. So you've covered like all of the questions. If anybody has a question for Kayra, ask it right now.
Yes.
Before we wrap up, I guess this could be, well, it could be two things. So let us know any like organizations or anything towards Black Lives Matter that you have been supporting or you're a part of, or anything you want to plug. And then you can go ahead and plug yourself, your website, your Insta, your latest project, whatever. Just tell us what you want the people to know.
Yes. So what I've recently joined, I've joined Color of Change, this organization that I learned about through my job. My job has been, I've been monitoring my job on like how they've been handling the situation. So far, so good, as far as what we've been saying. And now it's just to see what we do. But they had a great conversation yesterday with the head of Color of Change. So I joined that organization, and that gives resources to people of color, Black people, but people of color as a whole, and just advancing that movement. Some organizations that I myself am going to like start supporting more, and this goes back to like leaning into the systems that I'm a part of, is Teens Take Charge and Real Works, which are both New York organizations that work with kids, Black kids, like from underserved neighborhoods, and getting them exposure to the arts. Specifically, Real Works gets them exposure to the arts. With Adulton, we had our intern this past semester before COVID was from Real Works, and they provide filmmaking resources to the kids so they can like come and intern with web series or be on set. I remember my first time being there at Real Works and seeing what they do. Like, they were giving out Questlove's Creative Quest book, and like just like tons of stuff that they do and help out. And they work within like big companies as well. Like, they've had the media makers panel at Viacom. There's all these like leaders there, and they're trying to figure out like how to bring media to high school students in these communities way sooner, like the exposure and everything. So I think that they're phenomenal. I want to lean into how I can be more of service to them. I've been doing like mock interviews, or I plan on doing a mock interview with them where you like teach kids how to conduct an interview. Because I definitely just feel like kids are the future. They're going to be the ones that pick up the baton when we get tired and keep this thing going. Because like I saw someone say, you're not going to fix 400 years in 1 week, and not even in 1 year or one lifetime. I feel like there's just so much work to be done to not only make change, but to sustain change. So I believe in giving back to the kids. And Teens Take Charge, I just thought about them today, actually. Like, they just popped into my head, and I'm like, they're literally an organization that gives kids the tools to write bills for reform within their own schools. So yeah, like, they sit in and they teach them like how to look at proposals, how to make proposals, and advocate for change within their community, so that they're attending safer schools and getting better books, getting better supplies, all these different things. And that's amazing, like empowering people to use their voices early on, like I said, within a system that you feel you can change. So when you're out into the larger world, there's no more like, oh, I don't want to make people uncomfortable. It's like, no, I know the law, I know my rights, I have a voice, I'm saying what I need to say, and I'm gonna make change. So that's like on a local New York level that I feel. And then Color of Change is like on a big, larger scale. And then I've been signing all the petitions, girl. So every petition you've seen, I signed. And I guess I just want to say, while I have the space to say it, like, rest in peace to George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, Tony McDade, and literally everyone else. Just, it's ridiculous that this is what we have to say and do, and like that this is like the pain and trauma that we carry around. Like, that could have been my dad, my uncle, my brother, that could have been my cousin, my sister, that could have been anybody I knew. And it's just crazy that this is like where it's 2020 and like this is happening, and it's psychotic. So anything that I can do to like get people to just like feel empowered overall, I think is my mission in this fight, like just using my voice and then also showing people that they can too use their voice in whatever way they can, so that when we are faced with injustices within whatever system that we're in, that we're well equipped to fight it you know, get that change right then and there, and not years later have to wait for some next fuck shit so we can have a cultural uprising. It's like, nope, we need to be addressing these things along the way. We need to be talking about education and healthcare reform and all, like, there's just so much to do, like so much stuff that we get complacent about because it's not ongoing. And then it's like, it takes some shit like this to really like get stuff going. And this is not to discredit people who are doing the work. There are people in nonprofits and people who are waking up and doing the work every day. And I think that is like, we need y'all because you know, like, you guys are keeping the thing going, but I think that we just need like a larger cultural awareness as a people and as a community to continue to do that. They can't be the only ones, you know, like just because I work in a nonprofit, I can't be the only one advocating for change. We should all be advocating for change, and we should all feel empowered to do so in whatever ways that we can.
Exactly. Wow, that was, again, really beautifully put, especially us feeling empowered to do so. Like, it's like, each one teach one, basically. Like, you're setting an example by passing this knowledge, and you're not like holding it for yourself and like just going out and being this warrior, but we can all help one another. Like, we're all very important in this movement. So yeah, let us know where we can follow you, where we can find you, plug your latest project, you know, tell us.
You can find me at Kayra Jay, Kayra Jay. And then my web series is Adultin series, so Adultin, no G, ADULTIN series, and that's on YouTube, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter, it's on Facebook, it's the website adultinseries.com. Like I said, there's 5 episodes for y'all to check out. There's tons of content there, behind the scenes content. We have a surprise something coming. You know, we have plans before the movement, you know, happens. Well, we do have something on the way, and we're super excited about it. So be on the lookout. We're not stopping or slowing down. We had a talk with our team the other day, and we were like, okay, like, how do y'all, let's just try to be cognizant of emotions, and like, you know, y'all ready? You guys feel good about, and then we're ready to work. They were like, people need to see this show. People need to see, like, you know, the show is inherently Black. It's Black people being joyful, like buying groceries, just being Black, which is not caricatured. It's not overblown. It's not over exaggerated. It's not these weird circumstances. It's just Black people being Black. And we could all relate to like getting groceries and putting the more expensive meat back. We can all relate to having tough conversations with our parents. We can all relate to not washing our white clothes because it's only 2 of them and I'm not about to waste my money on that shit. Like, you know, there's all these different nuances that the show is just showing and talking about from a scripted point of view and an unscripted point of view. So conversations just like this at the end. And the fact that the team, people outside of like myself and my co-creators feel that strongly about it, I feel strongly about it. So that's where you'll catch me. That's where you'll catch what I'm doing, and everything else you'll catch on Kayra Jay.
Nice. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who watched. This is Black and Alive. Again, it's an IG Live interview series with young Black entrepreneurs, and just checking in and seeing how they're doing. For the next like 2 weeks or so, we'll be right here. Well, I'll be right here. Same time, same place, 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm actually drawing a blank on who I'm interviewing tomorrow. Like, I literally can't remember. But
it's okay.
To follow 28 Shades of Black Magic. I have the schedule posted there, and I'll be posting these videos. I recorded this interview, so you can always come back to this page later on this week or next week to see it. Follow Kayra Jay, follow Adultin series, and stay Black, fight the power.
Stay Black, y'all. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to have this space, and I'm so proud of you again for all that you're doing. Like, this is incredible. Giving people a voice and giving people a platform is doing the work. So thank you so much.